What's going on, Knights of Fulcrum? It is me, your boy Gilbs, or Red Gilbs, because, you know, the whole Red Hulk thing. And unfortunately, I am by myself today. No Peaky, because his computer shorted out, and no Harrison, because he didn't watch the movie. But it's okay, because we have a very special guest here today, someone you all know and probably love very much. She's a friend of the channel, and... Spider-Man. Okay, enough of that.
Yeah.
But we got Spider-Man here today, and he's going to be helping us talk about this very awesome new Marvel property, Captain America.
Yeah, new?
I mean, newish.
Okay.
It's new because he's a new guy. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, I've met him. He's cool. He's a cool dude.
Have you actually met Anthony? Oh, okay. So I'm being breaking character. Have you actually met Anthony Mackie, or are you just talking about Cap in general?
Just Cap in general. I don't know who Anthony Mackie. I don't know who Anthony Mackie
all right,
is.
I'm just all right. Now I know we're all right. Got it. So yeah, no, but thank you for being here, Spidey. I appreciate it. And so just real quick, did you see this movie? How do you feel about it?
I saw the movie. I watched it twice, actually. First
really?
time, it was a lot to take in. I really enjoyed all the action sequences were really cool. And then the second watch, I was paying a bit more attention to the subtleties, you know, the dialogue and the story, how it was put together and all that. And I gotta say, it wasn't a 9 out of 10 for me, but I rank it at a 6.57. And I personally really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. What about you?
So that's actually really high praise, considering like this dude, not the first Captain America beat the crap out of you, and so did and well, I guess you kind of technically beat him, but still, he punched you a few times. But at any rate, that's really high praise. But I think I'm right there with you, though. I gave this movie about 6.5, 7 out of 10. Just like I only saw it the one time. I think I need to go see it again to see, or wait till it's on Disney Plus and watch it again and see how I feel then. There was a few nitpicks that I had. I don't think they're the same as everybody else. I think we talked about this a little bit before we got on here. That there's been some really weird, like nitpicky stuff that people have been going with, like that, you know, to like crap on the movie. But like overall, I mean, I think the only thing that really did it for me, and we can talk about this later, is the one, like there's one really obvious reshoot. I think and it's like it's with Isaiah Bradley. Like, I don't know if anyone else noticed it, but. So first of all, let me go to the comments real quick. We got Patrick in here saying, all right, I'm not gonna comment on that, but we'll say, will there be an end credit scene to this podcast? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. You have to sit through the credits just like I did, and probably Spidey did.
Yeah. And I mean, sitting
also,
is.
or were you webbed upside down sitting there? Like,
yeah, I don't make a lot of money, you know. You got to see them somehow.
You're just sitting there all like stuck to the wall. Just like, nope, they can't see me. They can't fucking see me.
Shoving popcorn through my face hole.
So let's go ahead and get right into it. So Captain America, Brave New World. They like, I don't know if we want to go like through it like bit by bit, or just kind of go through like our favorite parts, or which parts like stood out to the most to us. I think like, you know, I'll start with that. Like, just which part? What do you think the movie stood out the most, or which one? What do you think was the best part of the movie?
There was a lot. I liked the camaraderie between Cap and his partner. I thought they were cool. I liked Isaiah. I liked they brought him in. Yeah. I liked that they brought Isaiah in too. That was cool.
El Halcón.
My favorite part, though, I gotta say, my favorite thing about the movie and favorite part was on the ship, and he was on the phone, and he was about to turn, and you thought everybody who watched it, your brain is going, he is going to tear that entire fleet apart. You know, this is going to be the end of it, and they canceled it out and didn't give it to you. And I was like, I actually like that. They teased you with it, and then you think, we're not getting it. What the hell? That's bullshit. You think you're at the end of the film. And to me, that was my favorite part. That's the one that got me most jazzed up, because I was ready to see it, and then it was just yanked away. but it wasn't
Well,
done
and then they do it,
poorly.
and then they end
Like,
up doing it later. Then they end up
and they
doing like what
show
they
you
just
that
showed in the
Ross is
trailers.
really trying to change. It really shows he's really trying to change, because as soon as she said Captain was able to bring the planes down, he calmed
Yeah,
down and said, "Get him on the phone. We can fix this." So it shows he's
yeah.
really trying to change. And I was like, I thought that was the good part. It was a good part for me.
It shows me that the dude has like some serious anger, man. Like I understand that's why he's taking the pills the whole movie. He doesn't realize he's poisoning himself with gamma radiation and becoming
Yep.
more of a Hulk. But
Yep.
like him taking the pills, he thinks like, oh shit, I need to calm down. I need to calm. It's like, bro, just smoke a joint and chill. Like,
I mean, but the cool thing is
wrong
even
guy to
then,
tell that to.
he didn't have the pills in that scene in the hallway, you know, in the ship when he was trying not to turn, and he probably
Well,
didn't know what was happening to him. And I was just like, oh my god,
didn't
this
he?
is so cool.
I seem to remember he did tried to grab some, but he dropped him because again he was freaking out.
Yeah.
But that was when he was on the phone with the guys with
Yeah.
So, all right, so actually, I want to start off with kind of a sour note. That's I think that the one part of the movie I didn't like is the leader. Like the way that they did him was cool to see him like in the shadows with the glowy eyes and all, and like the creepy
Yeah.
like aspect of that, like him like controlling people's minds and like doing subliminal messaging and stuff. That was all cool. But as far as like the way he looked and the way it's just like exposed brain, and he wasn't even all that blue. He was more green than he was blue. Like I wasn't really down for that.
Well,
that's true. Harrison Ford does love weed. I forgot about
I
that.
like what they did with him there versus the comic book version of the character, because his brain would have been like ugly big, and it would have looked stupid. So they kind of made it like, and another is maybe he was that way. And remember how they did say that Ross was helping him too, like he did up the gamma radiation, but then he started helping him. So I'm thinking when they stopped pumping him with gamma radiation, his brain went back down. But yeah, I mean, he looked like a zombie. Like the dude looked like a zombie. I wasn't crazy about all that, but you know, it's just, you know, that's a nitpick. I would have to say I wasn't too pleased with the look of the villain. No,
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
the only. Again, his plan was cool, like trying to poison Ross and like without his knowledge and make the whole thing happen. Like his powers of like, oh, I can calculate everything. I can see all these different eventualities and all these different possibilities, and like being able to work it, as basically a giant what's the word like probability generator. Like that was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And that kind of ties into the end credits scene. We'll talk about that a little later, but yeah, like his powers were really like awesome. But again, like just the way he looked, I'm just like, eh. But that said, it was kind of nice to actually have him show up, though. Like it was nice to have that like arc finally be closed from the Incredible Hulk movie.
I did not see that coming too. Like I will admit, I had no idea we were finally getting a sequel to the Incredible Hulk, which verifies it. You know that Norton's Hulk was actually part of the MCU and part of the storyline, besides a few line drops from Ruffalo here and there. That's just confirmed it. And that's was one of the complaints I saw from my friends was, if you didn't see that movie and you aren't hip to what's going on in the Marvel universe, see all the side movies, you're gonna play catch up and you're not gonna have any idea what they're talking about. And I was like, well, I did. So I did enjoy the film, but if you didn't see the Eternals and all these other films, you are gonna be a little lost. Like, okay,
Oh,
sorry.
dude, I snapped it. I snapped at my mom when like I was talking to her a few days ago, and she asked me, she's like, "Oh, so how many movies do I need to watch to be caught up with this?" I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, at least 15
Oh.
movies or some like shit like that. You need to watch at least the Incredible Hulk, a couple of the Avengers movies, probably Civil War. You're gonna need to see all the Captain America movies, like probably Endgame, Infinity War, and Endgame. Like, there's at least like 10 movies you need to watch, and like 3 TV shows.
You actually need to watch Winter Soldier too.
No, you need to watch like all the Captain America movies.
If
The
you
whole
don't watch
movie.
that, Civil War arc isn't going to make any sense. You're like, why?
Like,
why is he trying to protect this weird guy with a metal arm? Which is a really cool arm, by the way.
yeah, that's true. Captain or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you need to know, because also it's like, well, how did he get the wings? When did the Wakandans give him a suit? It's like there's a lot of stuff, man.
Yes, and I admit that I really enjoyed that show. I really enjoyed that show a lot. I saw no flaws with it whatsoever. I wasn't crazy about Anthony Mackie in Civil War. And my only thing is you can tell he was a newcomer. He was new to acting. He hadn't had that much under his belt, and he wasn't bad. at all.
Mhm.
But he was standing next to like really seasoned, really good actors. So it did kind of make him
Mm.
stand out a little, but I saw his charisma and I liked his character. So I was like, I'm going to have faith that, and as it went on, his acting like was off the chain. And then by the time I watched this, I was like, oh yeah, he's great. He's one of my favorites now. So that's another
Yeah.
thing for me that made this movie really good for me is it helped me grow. It helped me get used to Anthony Mackie and really like his character and recognize his skills that he has. So there's another, back, I guess,
Also,
behind the scenes perspective.
I mean, also he is kind of cool, like his fight scenes where he is doing like some parkour shit, like flipping over dudes and like using
Yeah.
the wings to his advantage, as well as them being now vibranium and having the shield and throwing that. Like he actually does make it look pretty cool. Like I
Oh,
like Steve
dude.
Rogers, and Steve Rogers is my like. It's all right. This is a wrong way to probably say this, but he is my Captain America in that. Like the first Avenger is probably my favorite Captain America movie and my favorite Avengers movie, like just of the MCU.
Okay.
So with that, it's like, I see myself in Steve Rogers, the scrawny little white kid who who lost every fight, and like
Yeah,
I'm like, okay,
the underdog is what that's
ex-
what Steve Rogers is, the underdog. And a lot of
exactly.
people
It's
love
like,
the underdog art.
and yeah,
And
like
for me,
being the ideal of what America should be, and like I kind of like that Anthony Mackie he's more of like what America is in reality. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, he's the human side. And I liked what Bucky told him when Bucky was like, Steve fucked up too, basically, just to smash it all down and paraphrase. He's like, Steve messed up too. He wanted to protect people he cared about and he couldn't. And he had superpowers and shit. And he's like, yeah, he inspired people, sure. But he's like, you give something people to aspire to. Like when people look at you, they know they could do what you do and they could be like you if they want to. And that's much different than somebody that looks up to a superhero that you can never be that, like you're just like, okay, yeah, it's inspiring. Sure. I want to
Like,
be better.
and yeah, don't get me wrong. We would all take the super soldier serum if given the chance. If like given half a chance,
Yeah.
we would instantly just, but the fact that Sam didn't, and the fact that he's able to still keep up with the Hulk, with Red Hulk, or with Isaiah Bradley, like that whole training scene where he's like fighting in a CrossFit gym with Isaiah. I'm like, dude, he's got some chops. He's able to actually like hold his own against superhumans.
He has to. I mean, he's kind of equivalent to Batman. He has to be better than them, or he will die. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll die. So I gotta admit, man, through Captain America, Falcon and Winter Soldier to this, I'm a big fan now. Like I'm a pretty big fan.
Well, we got our first hater in here. We got Top Cat 71 saying this movie was absolutely horrible. I left, I think, 3/4 of the way through. Well, I mean, that's all well and good. I personally think that's kind of a waste of money. That's like I don't know what I wouldn't just walk out of the theater. That's just weird.
I have, but I didn't pay for it, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, see, I've never just on principle. I don't walk out whether I pay for it or not. I don't walk out of movies because I'm just like, I paid $12 to sit here. I'm not gonna. I'm getting my 2 hours of sitting in a nice air conditioned theater. Like I'm not just walking out just because I don't like the movie. Fuck that.
Well, I mean, Top Cat, that is an action, but what caused you to take that action? Like, give us something in the comments. Let us know what you
I'm curious.
Like
That's a good point. What part of the movie exactly were you at that you're just like, I'm done, I'm out? Because I'm curious. Because I mean, the probably the apex or the climax of the movie, and like the best part was probably the Hulk fight. Like by far was that just the two of them like going all out. Him almost full on dying, like because like Sam almost got his ass kicked.
The fight at the White House lawn was worth $12.
Dude, him smashing through the White House was freaking awesome.
That was worth $12, dude. That's my opinion, but
one part I'm gonna be a little annoyed, or I was a little annoyed by, is that so they're the Secret Service, right? Like they're all like, "Sir, we need to get you out of here. We need to protect you." Yeah. And then he starts turning into the Hulk. They instantly change their tune and they all just like aim their guns at him and just like,
"No,
dude, that didn't take much."
I'd have ran. Secret Service or not, I've been like, "I'm out."
It's like he doesn't need us protecting him right now. We need protection from him.
I'm moving to Denmark,
and then they start shooting him. I'm like, dude, have you not fought the Hulk? Have you not seen footage of like aliens shooting at the Hulk and it not working? Like, I don't know, man. It just seems like a bet. So I don't know. I mean, I thought it was cool. I thought the fights were cool. Again, like him fight. So we haven't even talked about this part yet, but Giancarlo Esposito as the
Oh,
goddamn as what's his name? Sidewinder,
Sidewinder.
I think. And
God.
then yeah, having the Serpent Society just like put
Yeah,
in there.
that chef's kiss. I'm sorry, chef's kiss. And let's not talk about the drop kick into the windshield of the fucking truck in the junkyard.
Mm.
Like he just runs up and drop kick. I literally went, "Oh shit!" As soon as I saw that, I was like, "I'm gonna watch that again." And I watched it again. Was like, "Oh god, the stunt man!"
Yeah, no, like
Oh.
that is pretty great. He just like slams him, full body slams him into the ground, and just like with his like kicks him with his feet. I'm like, holy.
And they even went
Like,
so far. He's such a good actor that when he went over to him, he's going, like
yeah,
he can't breathe.
you feel it. Oh yeah, no, he knocked the wind out of him hard. And, like, yeah, you're right. And obviously that wasn't the real person. That was just his stuntman. But the fact that Giancarlo was sitting there like, I'm like, yep, no, that's how it would be.
Hey, Top Cat says he loves the channel though. Listens nightly.
Yeah,
That's something.
Listens to the audiobooks most likely. Thank you very much for that.
That's something.
I would like to clarify that the city of Philadelphia caused more violence and damage to their city after the Super Bowl than the Red Hulk did in this movie. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know, man. The White House is pretty fucking expensive. I don't like also he fucked up the Washington Monument and all the like. I'm pretty sure all like these like cobblestones and all these like roads around. I'm like, how expensive is DC? That's the question you got to ask. Is how much do the taxpayers pay for DC?
I mean, was it? You know what? Maybe we want to talk about that. You know what? Most of the stuff was actually built by in Washington. Is I don't think anybody actually paid for it. If you catch.
Well, no, not at the time. I'm talking about upkeep. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, upkeep. Okay, yeah, that's probably different. Yeah, it's probably well.
So like if like. Yeah, so if something were to like, let's just say like a plane were to obviously we don't have a Red Hulk, we have a Hulk Hogan, but yeah, so
the plane was to crash.
But like, let's say a plane was to crash into DC or something like that. You know, it could happen.
It could.
Yeah, but like, if it were, you know, like how expensive would it be to like, you know, repair that? probably pretty.
It'd be a lot.
We're going into such dangerous territory.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything, but I couldn't stop laughing.
Damn it! We're trying to talk about we're trying to talk about a movie where the president, who is a bright red color, destroys everything.
Yes. Yeah, we are talking about a fictional
absolutely
scenario
nothing like real life,
where a fictional character destroys, you know, half of Washington and that really nice cherry blossom. I mean, I've never been to DC, so I don't know where that place actually is, but I'm sure it's real.
I wanted to talk about. I love how I honestly thought they were going to do this. The thing where, you know, they mentioned the whole time like him, Ross being like, I want to go walk with my daughter in the cherry blossoms. Like
my daughter.
Yeah, he mentions that multiple times, and then when they go and fight in the cherry blossom, like, oh shit, he's gonna like do the sun's getting real low thing on him, and and he did not go for that at all.
Yeah,
at all.
He's like, please tell me I knocked that motherfucker out, and he didn't. He did.
That's another thing too. Is I like that too. Is that like even like doing his best, like fighting and kicking all the ass, and like even like at the end of the fight, he's like, oh fuck, nope, he still didn't win. It's like Ross had to decide to calm down and to go into like prison.
Yeah, and again, that's why I think we had mentioned that Spider-Man. Do you remember me? You can. That would be impossible. Yeah. It's probably a different Spider-Man. Not a real Spider-Man. Maybe a spectacular or an amazing.
Or an ultimate Spider-Man.
Possibly
perhaps?
An ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, I'm just Spider-Man, you know.
He's the your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yes.
Which, off topic, but if you have the chance, go watch that show. Great show.
It's on my list. I still got to watch Creature Commandos. So before
I
dig into any television shows, I've been editing. Wait, Spider-Man doesn't edit. Never mind.
No, he just photographs. But, yeah, no. But anyway, so let me see where else. All right, so I actually already went through my least favorite part about the whole leader thing. So, what is your least favorite? What did you think was like the weakest part of the movie?
The Widow.
The Widow. Okay,
Black
that's right. The
Widow.
his his secretary or his like
Yeah, I
not
felt
secretary
like
of defense. It was like
that was one little like what would you call it? A tiny little character arc we didn't need, and she was
yeah.
cool,
See,
but to me it felt like it drew away from the other characters. There was a lot to take in because you had Isaiah's arc, it was a little sub arc, and then you had Captain America, and then you had his sub arc and Joaquin's sub arc. There was a lot to
yeah,
keep up with.
Bucky
President
drops in
Ross.
there, and like Bucky drops in there, and you find out he's running for Senate or for Congress.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot. So I thought, why don't we remove the Widow character? Because the Widow stuff deserves its own thing. Like, since we got the Black Widow movie, we could probably carry on with more Widow stuff, and I think that'd be cool. But that would have been my only complaint, really. I did not have a beef with the writing or the dialogue. It's a comic book movie, dude.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I didn't mind her being there. Like, I feel like she didn't have really a much of a role besides just being like, oh, hey, check it out, reference to this other. Because I mean, the fact that like, I don't have a problem with her with the Widow character. I don't have a problem with her being there necessarily. It's just the fact that she didn't really kick all that much ass. Like, she just kind of is there. And like, there's one part where she's wearing like the leather with the blue, like a kind of a comic book, So I looked up her character in actual comic books. They're kind of doing like a reference to that, but yeah,
Really?
I'm like,
It looked like a small Captain America uniform is what it looked like. It had the star on it and everything, and I thought,
that could be it.
Do we need this? Like the Widow's got
it's
their
my
own
understanding
thing.
Yeah, it's my understanding that in the comic she had a Star of David on her, so like that might have been like they were trying to elicit that as opposed to like it was a big stupid controversy that she's Israeli, and it's like see that Disney's woke. I'm like,
but I mean, Israeli hand-to-hand combat is the single probably best hand-to-hand combat on the fucking planet, so it makes sense.
I am right there with you.
An assassin, like it makes sense. So I'm gonna go back and watch. Did they do that? And I just didn't see it, or
I don't know. I don't think so. I've only seen it the once, so yeah, I don't. You'll have to
go
back and watch it. Let me know.
It could be a Star of David, so I'll go back and check. I'm gonna go back and check. You got me curious now, like, huh?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They could maybe they were trying to make it look like more like a Captain America style suit than because of like associations to real life events. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. And yeah, you know what? That is a good segue into another beef you had.
Another beef I had
later with the reshoots.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's
yeah,
a great segue because it has everything to do with why the reshoots would happen. And
so we did. So yeah, let's go ahead and go into it. That was another probably beef I had with this movie is the fact that, and it's really just one very, very noticeable part. So you know how Isaiah, like after, like he gets, they go through this whole thing where they're going to the White House, they're partying, they're doing the whole thing, and then he goes all nuts and gets arrested. Well, during that part, you can see his hair is all high and tight, normal. When he goes to prison, like there's the first time when you see Sam meeting him in prison, his hair is all wild and like grown out there, and then in the next
cool. I thought his hair looked cool. I was like, oh shit, that's cool looking.
Well, I was all for it. I was like, okay, maybe he's like disheveled and he's like, it's because he's in prison, he's going nuts, he doesn't like it.
Right.
But then in the very next scene, his hair's back to being high and tight, and I'm like, whoa,
I know exactly what you were talking about when you said it. I was like, damn it. And then I thought
noticed
maybe
right away.
They gave him that haircut in prison, or he cut his hair that way in prison, and that was going to be his hairstyle for the rest of the movie. I thought, cool. They just changed his style. I was imagining him in the uniforms, like that's pretty badass, actually, like almost comic book accurate. But then you're right. And the next scene, they show him his hair's back to like when he was in the limo. Like, wait a minute, how did you grow your hair out in like 2 days, dog? Like.
Yeah, and then how did you like, or why is it like jumping out? Like, it's just one of those weird things. Is like, okay, so that clearly like them meeting each other in the prison, that must have been a reshoot. And I'm like, I'm really, really curious what exactly it was that was like originally done.
Because the scene wasn't necessary. Like you could have reshot a phone call and done that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like Isaiah could have said those things over the phone and it would have gotten the same effect, without having to reshoot and kind of mess up. And it was
Do a
big.
voiceover, like have
Yeah.
Sam like just sitting there on the phone and have Isaiah's voice on the phone, like so you don't have to
Yeah,
even show
dude,
the
you
guy.
know how
I'm
easy
like,
it is to add an effect to somebody's voice to make it sound like they're on a phone. 2 clicks of a button and it sounds like a phone call. So it's like, dude,
exactly.
there were so many ways to do that, and they instead like that's a pretty big Hollywood flaw they left in a film and just didn't expect anybody to notice. Like, what? It would
Yeah.
take
See.
months for that dude's hair to grow back out like that.
Hmm.
Months.
Exactly. And
Unless
so
the movie takes place over
he's only
months.
in prison for like a week, maybe a couple weeks,
Yeah, that's what I
not
was
even all
thinking.
that
Like
long.
maybe a week. Maybe a week.
So yeah,
Well,
like that kind of stuff. Like the fact that they move him to solitary, like there's not really anything. If they had shown like a fight in the prison or something like that, or shown something that happens that like Sam has to save, or even the widow has to save Isaiah, then I would have been down for it. But it's like the fact that they focus a little too much on the prison scenes and with that chick. I'm like, I feel like those must have been the reshoots, or those must have been like scenes that they were just like, well, fuck, we can't put what we wanted to put in here, so let's just throw this in there.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing is I don't really chalk it up to bad writing, because in all these other movies that we get to finally see the final product of, there are so many scenes that have been cut out that people may not like, or you know what I mean, that they feel like would ruin the film. I feel like this got past directors and writers and made it to post-production people, and they're like, you need to put this stuff back in, or they overwrote something that was too politically charged that they didn't see coming was going to happen, and then they had to panic and go back and fix it and change it. And that's what I
Yeah.
think. But you could have just removed those scenes and it would have impacted the movie
I mean,
none.
see, I've mentioned it before, though, that I don't know why. I guess it must have been something that they were too worried. Again, like dealing with Trump or dealing with like Israel, Palestine, something like that. They must have been some kind of like something that they're like, we do not want this on us at all, because like in my mind, Disney, or not Disney movie, Marvel movies have always kind of been like, hey guys, we're kind of trying to make it mix with the real world. I mean, Tony Stark,
Yeah.
he's selling weapons to like Afghan soldiers and like American soldiers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's clearly the Afghan war. Like Captain America, the Winter Soldier, they talk about like, oh well, we have these drones that can kill like 1,000 people in one and that was the year that Obama was noted as doing more drone strikes than any other president. I'm just saying, they've always kind of been a little political. You know what I'm saying?
Well, even then, how much is politics? I hate to say it, but over the past 12 years, how much has politics kind of paralleled science fiction and comic books more and more lately? Like, I don't know how else to explain it. We could say that the movie should see this coming, right? Like, you should have expected eventually, some dude was going to do the same goddamn thing you just put in your movie, and yeah, you have to remove it, but it's
Or
too
just be
hard to
ballsy and
predict that stuff.
just put it out there. Put it out there and see what people say.
It's too politically charged. Like, that's a lot of my
ridiculous.
groups, people that I talked to, were complaining about how it was too politically charged, and felt like it had a narrative, like a narrative to modern day politics. And I went, but I mean, it's Captain America's always been politically charged. Maybe not the first film, but every film after that, politics, Captain America. I mean, even Civil War, the Sokovia Accords,
Yeah.
that's politics, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole entire world going, y'all can't do this anymore. You just can't.
So this is a good segue into what the actual politics of the show of the movie are, and it's the fact that it revolves around, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, it revolves around adamantium. Bum bum bum. The celestial, the giant celestial the giant celestial that popped out of the ocean at the end of Eternals and was turned to a marble or something. I don't know, turned to like stone.
Is it stone or is it ice? I'm not sure.
I have no idea. He was turned to something, and like I said, it might be a glacier. But at any rate, the point is that somehow, like by doing that, in like the deep depths of core of its body is adamantium, and now it makes the whole thing of like America wants to be on the forefront of this, which is why we talked a little bit about this, why it's called Brave New World, and it's because the world is now changing. It's like this new rare resource that is on par with vibranium, that they said it's even more indestructible than vibranium. I'm like, that doesn't make, how is it more indestructible?
How can something be more indestructible? Indestructible pretty much covers it, it's
yeah, no,
it's
but
also indestructible.
Yeah, but they found something that's on par with vibranium, and so yeah, they're if it was ever in question that they're going to be bringing the X-Men into the MCU very very soon, it's here we are. And so, but the movie revolves solely around like Ross trying to get his hands on vibranium and trying to work with the Japanese, and it becoming like a resource war, and almost becoming like a literal world war because the leader is controlling different sides of the group, trying to make them assassinate the president or try to make them attack Japan, and so yeah, like this whole thing ends up becoming like so I'm just saying like that is a real life politics thing in that if we found like unobtainium or vibranium or what any thing like from science fiction, yeah, like if we found that tomorrow, then I guarantee you America would be like, no, dude, we need that. That's ours. We need to get that like right, especially in this administration. They'd be like, nah, dude, we need to get that shit right now. We need to be controlling that. And because it's like that makes you an actual superpower.
Denmark has vibranium. We're gonna go take Denmark. It's better. It's better this way.
We're gonna take Greenland. We're gonna go make it red, white, and blue land, and it's gonna be our main. It's gonna be our main supplier of vibranium.
It'll be the best you've ever seen. It'll be the best. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
No. Adamantium. It's even more indestructible than vibranium. You never seen a more indestructible. I'm like, it sounds like something Trump would say.
Make adamantium great again.
We're gonna make Wakanda great again. I'm just saying.
Make America gain adamantium. That could be the new MAGA, is make America gain adamantium. That kind of was what was going on in the film, actually.
Oh, I love it. I love that. That's awesome.
Holy shit. Now, what did you think about Ross and Ross's whole arc? Because that was important. What did you think about Ross's whole arc and Ford taking over? Because, I mean, we didn't have a choice. Unfortunately, R.I.P. John Hurt. R.I.P. one of the best actors in the freaking industry, to be honest.
William Hurt? Yeah, no, William Hurt, I think.
John Hurt's the British guy. William Hurt.
Yeah, no, R.I.P. William Hurt. Because, like, now, so this is a complicated thing there because I'm one of the people who both, like, I understand why people wanted, what's his name? Chadwick Boseman to recast. And I also understand the people who didn't want it. It's like, so in this particular case, like, it's one of those things like it feels like it might be a racial thing, but I mean, I'm okay with it within this. I don't know. I'm okay with recasting, period. But again, I understand why people like, I'm saying like, there's people who are going to be like, well, why not Chadwick Boseman? Why not, who else was it?
Right. Well, even Chadwick was okay with it. Like, he didn't want everything to stop because of that. Yeah, but I understand. Sure, he was cool.
So here's my thing is like, what I'm getting at is that I'm cool with it. But that said, I understand people who make the argument of like, well, if we can't recast this guy, why the fuck can we recast? Like, we shouldn't have recast this dude. We should have just left it, like, I understand both sides. The only time I am not okay with recasting, and it's kind of ironic, is fucking what's his name? Original Hulk.
Ed Norton.
Edward Norton. I wanted Edward Norton. No, fuck Eric Bana. I wanted Edward Norton. I would have been down for Edward Norton to stay. I would have been down for Edward Norton the whole time. Fuck Mark Ruffalo.
I like Ruffalo. He was better.
I try not to imagine that, John. Yeah, I try not to imagine how that would have gone.
Like old Harrison Ford. I'd rather not. God, what happened to that guy? He used to be so smooth talking, now he just growls everybody. I was dying, okay? And he's like pointing and shaking his finger. I was dying. You heard me.
That's kind of just fucking Harrison Ford's whole thing of like, I'm a grouchy old man. Let me get off my plane.
Get off my plane. I'm gonna point. Get off my lawn.
The only time he has, well, that's fucking Clint Eastwood, but yeah. I think you're right. That was Gran Torino.
Hold on.
Not all old men.
Justin, Ed Norton rocks, or at least he used to. Hear me out. He was not able to return to the MCU because he's an asshole. Like, he he's difficult to work with. He tried to overwrite the script all the time, got really pushy with all this stuff, and they were like, "Nah, dude, just don't come back." Now, I think he just kind of got big-headed along the way, is what it was. Shit got to him, and he thought he was some shit. But he is a good actor, and I like a lot of his work, so he does rock. But the reason he's not Hulk anymore wasn't because Ruffalo was better. He was just an asshole, and they're like, "They're not coming back."
So that's what I heard as well. I also heard that like the story he tells is that I guess he wrote and directed a couple of scenes that he thought made the story a little more cohesive, at least in his mind. And they told him like, "Oh yeah, no, we'll edit him in, we'll put him in there," and then they just cut him out of the movie.
No.
And he's like, "Oh fuck you guys."
Oh, Spider Dead. I like that. That's clever, Hans. Hans, that's clever. Clever girl, Hans. I've been working on my German accent. Is it nice?
Spider Dead is gonna get you. Haven't seen the movie already. Kind of meh because how the F is the new Cap able to survive without the super serum. All right, so no, but they do talk about that. Like he mentions how he's like he. Well, I mean, also he has his suit is made of vibranium, so it kind of takes a lot of the.
Yeah.
That's also, although that said, there's a part where his suit gets cut by a dude's knife, and it's just a normal knife, and it cuts across his suit. I'm like, wait, isn't that supposed to be vibranium? Like, if their stuff is like all made with vibranium, that should be like completely stab proof.
No, it's just the wings, man. Just the wings are vibranium.
Fair enough. Just the wings.
The suit is made out of that Kevlar stuff he was talking about earlier.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But I'm just like,
if all of your stabbed and shit, it just doesn't go all the way in. Like,
it just seems like, why wouldn't you make his entire suit vibranium? It was like you could do that and not even have and still have so much vibranium left.
I don't know, man. Maybe here's the thing. Maybe he doesn't want it like that. Maybe he's kind of Batman in this shit. Like, he wants to be as natural, and he's also got to fly around, and maybe vibranium ain't very versatile when you need to fly through the air. I don't know, man. I don't.
Although
I'm trying to defend, I'm devil's advocate here. Devil's advocate.
Yeah,
I really.
No, and that's when I watched the movie. Like, there's a part in the beginning when he fights the Serpent Society. He comes down, like, the part I'm talking about. He flies down and like lands, and he's like, "Wait for it." And the sonic boom hits the ground. Like, I feel like the only way he's doing that is if he's wearing vibranium, like some kind of exoskeleton or something, because there's no way your legs are taking that.
Oh, hell no.
That Batman Arkham Asylum bullshit. Nah, you're barrel diving at the ground. Nah, fuck that shit.
Now, see, my thing with fighting the Hulk is, let's take Falcon out of it, or let's take Captain America out of it, Captain America, and put Batman in there. Do you think Batman would be able to keep up with the Hulk long enough? I do. He's faster, he's smarter. He's got, he can do shit. So a person can do this if they're well trained, just not do it forever. And that was Sam knew that. Sam knew that he was building up the charge and building up the charge and building up the charge, and knew he had one shot. You know what I'm saying? And he took a shot, and then when he realized that shot wasn't enough, he's like, "Oh shit!" Like, he had nothing left but to talk to him. I'm sorry. Look, I'm sorry.
Yeah, nah, but I see, and
sun's getting real low, big guy.
Yeah, it's like, what would Betty say if she saw you, or some shit like that? Like, whatever he appealed to the fact that it was his daughter.
Yeah,
I honestly thought they were gonna have her. Like, I liked how they had his daughter show up at the end, but I thought it would have been great.
Wondering what happened to Liv Tyler. To be honest, I've been wondering that lately, and sure as shit, she showed up. Like, hell yeah.
Personally, I thought it would have been great had she showed up during the fight, been like, "Dad, no," and because that it would have also echoed the Incredible Hulk movie.
Good call. Boom. It would have echoed Incredible Hulk, which honestly, this is a sequel, and I was talking to B about that. In the chat, when I told her I saw it, I was like, I was pretty happy that it's kind of like a. Well, actually, I didn't, because I didn't want to spoil it. She hasn't seen it yet, but now she's here. I was happy that we finally got a sequel to that, because again, we only got like subtle clues from Ruffalo throughout the Avengers stuff, because he was only in Avengers movies after that. We only got subtle comments, one line here or there in each movie about him being in Harlem or destroying Harlem, or last time which is tying to Edward Norton's Hulk. So now that just closed it all up. Like, we're finally like, okay, this is a sequel that closed up that. Now we know, and Ross's arc is almost done. So where do we go from here? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be the new president? What are we going to get? What stories are they going to tell now? You know what I'm saying?
So with that, So yeah, Han says just give him the lost vial of super serum mixed with some of the Black Panther, like the heart shaped herb. How else is he able to throw the shield, etc.? Well, all right. So first with that, I think the heart shaped herb, they're still
Vibranium.
growing that. Like, well, yeah, the heart shaped herb, they're still growing that back because of it being burned away in the first Black Panther movie. Like, they're still growing back the crop of that.
Yeah.
So there's probably not
Shuri
very
only
much
made
left.
that one plant, didn't she?
Exactly. She
And
could
then
only,
ate
and
it.
she had to like 3D print it or whatever. She had to like grow
Yeah.
it or in a machine or some. So yeah, there's not a whole lot of that left. The serum, like, okay, maybe there's like a one lost vial or something out there that he could use again. But the point of it, of like both the show and this movie, is that he doesn't need it to be Captain America.
Yeah.
Although he does say Bucky was full of shit, should have taken that serum.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you should have.
He might.
So,
I mean, we still might get a. Man, you know what?
whoa,
Was...
whoa. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue your thought. Then we will come to this.
I can't. I'm staggered. Every thought I just had was just.
Incredible Hulk is better than the last 7
matter
MCU
everywhere.
flicks. Whoa. I mean, all right,
That's a
I have to
bold
look up
statement.
I have to Google what the last.
Okay, the last 7, there's been a lot since the only couple I give a shit about. So I don't know why I'm being so defensive. That was just like, it was a bold statement. That's like, that's
Okay, now we're at New World. So Deadpool and the Wolverine, or we got the Marvels. Okay, Marvels. I can see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 though. Like we got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Thor: Love and Thunder, and Multiverse of Madness. At least 3 out of 7 of those are awesome, dude.
Are better than Incredible Hulk. But I did actually, what's weird is I didn't know we were going to get the sequel to Incredible Hulk. And like literally a few days before I watched Captain America, I watched The Incredible Hulk again. And was like, it's not a bad film. The CGI is dated, and I did not like the Hulk design whatsoever. They made him look too much like a man, and his muscles were all stringy, and everything was so weird. I didn't like the design of the Hulk. I actually liked the old Hulk movie design better than I liked the Incredible Hulk, but the story and the writing was way better. And then you get that end scene with Tony Stark kind of just finally, sealing the deal. We're getting Avengers. That was cool. But man, I mean, Multiverse of Madness is probably one of my favorites right now. That was such a good fucking Sam Raimi film. Like, if you're going to remove Marvel and Doctor Strange from it, it was a good Sam Raimi film. So I don't know. I disagree on the.
Yeah,
7.
So I can agree to the Marvels. I can agree to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and Thor: Love and Thunder. But Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, I'll give it a pass. I'm okay with it.
Marvels. I enjoy the Marvels.
You like the Marvels? I just all right. My biggest nitpick with the Marvels is that it doesn't follow its own rules. Dude. No, that's all well and good. It just doesn't follow its own rules. Because there's multiple times in that movie where they use their powers and then they don't like teleport. And switch.
You're absolutely right.
I'm just like, it's a weird way of doing it, but whatever.
I also liked, never mind.
Now, what did you also like? Go ahead.
The Spider Woman movie. I liked it.
Oh, you talking about Madam Web?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, come on, dude. Okay. You got Dakota Fanning, Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced in the same film. That's enough for me to enjoy it. It could have been completely stupid which it was. It could have been. It was. Some. I could admit it. It was stupid, but I enjoyed it.
Had some
it was fun.
If you had fun watching it, okay. But I'm just like, it was a bad movie, but you can still enjoy bad movies.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Like, let's go back to the 90s and talk about how many bad movies people still talk about. Like, that's the shit. I mean,
to this day, I love Batman Forever. Like, to this day, I will defend Batman Forever no matter how bad it objectively is.
I wish Random Dude was here right now. He's an 89 Batman Returns guy. He just probably shut a brick. Like, what? Oh, yeah. See, those Shoemaker Batmans were just puke worthy, dude. Puke worthy.
Yeah, no, Batman and Robin was terrible.
My mask.
But yeah, so like I don't know. I think that there were much worse movies than Captain America, Brave New World, and like the bad faith arguments I've seen a lot of people making of just the fact that there's a lot of people who just refuse to accept Sam Wilson as Captain America. It drives me nuts. I'm like, did you not watch Endgame? Did you not see I mean, I doom scroll a lot when it comes to this kind of shit. I do see a lot of, I do look at a lot of grifters content and see what they're saying about it, and it's just like it's always a lot of bullshit of just like hashtag Sam Wilson is Sam Wilson, Steve Rogers is Captain America. It's, same bullshit as the fucking Miles Morales crap.
Now, I did have a question. You might know because
What's up?
I've never been a huge Avengers fan. I actually did not like the Avengers at all. Well, I liked West Coast Avengers, but I didn't like regular Avengers at all till the movies came out. I thought the movies made them interesting to me. The comics were like, I just didn't get into it. Like some of the stuff I was reading intersected with Avengers, and then I had to, but I didn't like read them in the 90s and stuff when I was into comics. Is it Sam Wilson? Is it Sam Wilson, Captain America, that's in the West Coast Avengers?
I think he starts up. I don't know if he's in the West Coast Avengers, but I know that at some point he ends up taking up either like Steve dies or like, because I know in the comics that Steve passes on the title to Bucky, but I know that Sam ends up becoming Captain America somewhere down the line. It might just be because Cap dies, and so he just takes up the mantle of it. But I don't know about the West Coast Avengers. I know that I think it's like Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, and a couple like X-Men and
Wanda. The Scarlet Witch was part of West Coast, and that's when her and Hawkeye had a thing going on. Mm-hmm. And when I was reading it, it was so long ago, man. Like, I think it was Sam Wilson. If my brain is telling me that it was Falcon, Captain America, but I could be completely wrong. I wouldn't put any money on it,
So what I see on this is it looks like Wonder Man, Hawkeye, Tigra, Mockingbird, and Iron Man for the West Coast, at least in the old, the 1985 run.
Okay, this has got to be 90s for sure. Because I was too young. I wasn't allowed to buy comics and stuff in the 80s. So I started up my own collection in the 90s.
Okay, so let's see in the 90s. West Coast Avengers from 85 to 94. And it looks like, hang on. Let me see if I can find it. But cool, it looks like it. I'm trying to just Google it up, Google it real quick. Well, damn, it looks like they had American Agent in there at one point. They had Spider-Woman. They've had, and this is just throughout various parts of it.
That's what I'm thinking of then.
Yeah, so they did have various ones, and I think that, and I know they've done new runs of the West Coast Avengers, for like the 2000s and on. Let me see here. What are we looking at?
Justin, that's cool.
I built your back out Lego scene. Took a few days. Oh, that's cool. So, all right. Sam Wilson's being treated like Miles Morales. Yep, he is. And so that's that's where right. I'm at. I'm just a little annoyed with some of them, not all of them, not even most. Just like a very vocal minority of the fandom that is like, gatekeepers and are kind of pissed off that Steve Rogers is not going to be Captain America anymore, even though he probably will at one point or another. They're probably going to do like a multiverse war where they bring back Steve Rogers. Just relax.
I'm calling it. We're getting Battleworld. Doom already tells us we're getting Battleworld. Like the only arc they can go in right now. You have to do it at some point. Anybody they want back will show up. Here's the thing.
Exactly.
There's got to be a changing of the guard. Chris Evans is going to get too old to play Captain America. He's not going to want to do that shit forever anyway. He's a good actor. He's going to want to move on and do other shit. Miles Morales is one of my favorite iterations of a Spider-Man character to date. So if somebody hadn't just fucking decided, you know what I'm saying? Let's take a kid from down the block, having a hard time, good family, and do the same thing. Put him in the same position. What would he do? Make him younger, right? So I totally love it. And I was never doubting Sam becoming Captain America. I knew it was going to happen. I was anxious to see how Anthony Mackie himself was going to take the role on. You get what I mean? He was always the side guy. He was the side character, the good guy, but now he's going to be the main guy. And I wanted to see him progress through that character, and you watch him grow as the character grows. And I think it's kind of cool, man.
And so, it seems to me like if they follow how modern comics are doing, it's possible that we're gonna have Sam like rebuild the Avengers. Like it'll be him, probably like if not Hawkeye, then it's gonna be Kate Bishop Hawkeye. We're gonna have more than likely Miss Marvel, probably Miles Morales if they decide to bring him in there like in live action. If like they do any of this kind of stuff, we'll also have Spider-Man that like like the Spider-Man we know, like Peter Parker Spider-Man. Like, well, wow, I caught myself doing the exact same thing I hate. So yeah, we'll have both Spider-Men in the show or in the movies probably, or they'll let Tom Holland do his own thing for a little while. But the point is that they're going to probably have all these characters, and then it's possible that they might end up going into the Champions, which is a thing started by Miss Marvel.
Yep.
Yeah, like I guess that's a team of like the teenage heroes, which either way, like they'll either do Young Avengers or they'll do the Champions. Either way, I'm like, okay, there's going to be the next. They're trying to bring up the next generation of heroes for the next thing of movies or the next thing of shows or whatever they're going to do with the MCU next. And I'm like, I'm okay with that.
What phase are we on?
We are on it was literally just here in the.
That's pretty bad. I don't know, to be honest.
I think in all right, so I believe we are on phase 4 or phase 5. Yeah, we are on phase 5, and that ends with Thunderbolts in May, and then finally it's going to be phase 6, which is going to be fantastic. Yeah, no, I'm not as excited about that either because it's a bunch of the B-listers like the American Agent. They got Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's Yelena. Yeah, Taskmaster from Black Widow. They got Yelena, who's like also the Black Widow character, like her sister, and then they got Red Guardian. So
I do like Red Guardian though. I do like Red Guardian. Cool. He was great.
Yeah, no, Red Guardian and Winter Soldier. That's right too. They have those two. So those two, I'm down for it. I'm down to see like after that one episode of What If where the two of them palled around. I'm okay to see their back and forth in this movie. But all the others, I'm just like, eh.
And not to mention, David Harbour just nails every role that he puts himself into, and you wouldn't think that he would. Like I heard when he was going to be Hellboy, I went, I don't know about that. And then I saw the Hellboy, I was like, that was pretty good, man. Like I actually enjoyed that. And then to watch the Black Widow movie, which I enjoyed. I love David Harbour as Red Guardian. It's so funny, dude. I beat the
See, I still want them to show us that. I want to see him fighting either Isaiah Bradley or Steve Rogers somewhere in history. Like, how cool would it be?
Do it. Just have him telling a story and do a quick flashback. That'd be totally worth it. Like, yeah. It's cool to see some of these side characters. I'll watch it. I'm just not like woot about it, but I am going to retract every negative thing I said about the Fantastic Four. Because that trailer got me.
And that's the start of phase 6, apparently, is Fantastic Four First Steps.
Yeah.
So,
and dude, as much as they want to say we're not going to get Doom, we're going to get Doom. As much as they're going to lie about it, Doom's going to show up in that film. You can't not do it. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, we're going to have Tony Stark. All right, so here's the thing. Is it going to be is it going to be the Robert Downey Jr. Doom, do you think?
I hope not. Maybe it's all a lie, just so it throws off who's really going to be Doom. They've done this for a long time. Downey's getting old.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's the thing, is that Doomsday is apparently releasing in May of next year. Or at least that's the thing. That's the one that's been released, that's been talked about. And we still haven't seen any kind of like leaks about it. We haven't seen any kind of like, usually you'll see like a leaked photo or something of like Robert Downey Jr. in costume or something like that. Nothing. And so that's my wonder. Is this just a big red herring just to fuck with us?
It could be. I'm going to I hope, because I don't want to see Downey return as a character like that. There's so many other actors that could play Doom. Like, why go with somebody you've just been using since 2006? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because not Harrison. Sorry, because Spidey, multiverse war.
Oh, come on.
And so to bring it right back to this movie, that's a great segue. The end credit scene is alluding to just that. Like the dude like Sam goes to see the leader on the raft, and he's like, "Oh, you can't see the eventualities. You can't see all the possible. Like it's gonna happen. The fucking multiverse." And he talks about the others who are coming, and it's like, okay, so there's gonna be other heroes, other villains, and just there's gonna be a multiversal war involving multiple Avengers teams. So that's where I'm like, we're gonna get Robert Downey Jr. back in some way, shape, or form. We're gonna get not Steve. We're gonna get fucking Chris Evans. We're
I
probably
think we
like
did get
multiple.
Chris Evans back, and that might be it. Like, I think
Yeah,
his appearance in Deadpool was it for Evans with Marvel. He's probably like, I'm done, guys. Like,
I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see if they decide just like, all right, let's do a variant of Captain America. Like, what about the variant where he was in Hydra? You know what I'm saying?
oh,
Like,
that okay, that would be cool. That would be cool. Hail Hydra.
like,
That would be
like
cool.
how cool would it be to have like a multiversal war or multiversal like stuff happening where like this Sam Wilson, the Captain America, fights or has to like meet up with a Steve Rogers, but doesn't realize he was a Hydra agent, and like
shit. Now he has to
I would
fight
see
Captain America, Super Serum, Evil. Oh shit.
exactly. Like, how awesome would that be to see that fight?
Oh
I'm
shit.
like,
John Henry Walker, David Harbour did a voice performance in Creature.
oh,
Are you fucking serious?
oh, which one did he do?
Oh shit. Okay, well that's moved up in the priority then. Yeah, he does have range. That's what I was getting at. Like, he's a great actor. Like,
Oh, he's Frankenstein in that movie
are
or in
you
that show.
fucking serious? Okay, now I'm gonna have to watch it. There's already
Yeah,
like
I didn't.
I'm hearing all the. I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, no, dude, damn, there's a bunch of great actors in there. Fucking
I know
David
that.
Harbour. We got Alan Tudyk. We got Michael Rooker
Are
in
you
there.
serious? Alan Tudyk's in it?
Yeah, he's Dr.
Oh.
Phosphorus.
Oh my god! Why have I been sitting on it so long?
That's an
I feel
excellent
like a
question.
jackass. Because it's
John
DC
also
and
said-
Spider-Man shouldn't know about these things.
I mean, arguably DC would be the thing that Spider-Man watches. Like,
Oh yeah, that would be the
they
fictional
reference
world,
it in the Raimi Spider-Man. They reference Superman, so I'm like, he would absolutely know who that is.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
John also says, "Oh, sorry, go ahead."
Yeah. No, I was just agreeing. I was thinking, yeah, that's kind of a feeling I got. I got a little bit of a feeling on that one.
Let's see. John says, "What if RDJ is a fake Doom? Think about Ra's al Ghul's switcheroo in Batman Begins." Like, that's a good point. Like, what if it is just like a fake fucking like what in this what if world? It's like Tony Stark is the evil guy, but it turns out there's actually like the real Doctor Doom is like just kind of like it's someone you don't expect it to be.
I think we're gonna jump right into God tier Doom. Like Deadpool versus Wolverine gave us a lot to unpack, and when you unpack it all, you start seeing interlaps of Battle World and stuff. And in order to get to Battle World, you have to have Doom, you have to have God tier Doom, you have to literally go down the House of X and the Fall of X storylines too, because they're connected. And now they can. So they're being so hush hush. We have no idea where they're going to go with this shit. We really don't. Like, until we see the Fantastic Four, we don't know.
Exactly. The only thing we know for sure is that there's going to be a Doomsday movie and there's going to be a Secret Wars movie, and those are over the next 2 years. But in between that, we have no idea what other stuff they're going to be putting in there, what other shows, what other movies, and everything. I'm telling you, it's going to be heavily X-Men. Like, so now we come to the part of the show where we're going to be discussing what happens next, because we've mostly talked about all the main parts of the show, all the main parts of the movie. Like, I don't know.
And the end credit scene sets that up, because it's like he was so ambiguous, but so kind of obvious at the same time. He said, "You think this is the only world?" And it was like, what we're so used to now is obviously not. We've had aliens come in from other planets and try to invade us and all this shit, or at least in that particular world. So what is he referring to at that point? When he's saying there are other worlds, he means there are other Earths. The only people who know about the multiverse right now is fucking Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Well,
they're the only people that actually know about it.
Well, all right. So, I mean,
there's
everybody
also the TV. There's Spider-Man event.
So I mean, there's also the TVA, but yeah, I do see your point.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah, but they're new to this universe. You get what I mean? So technically, they don't count. So
okay, so yeah,
existing characters only a few know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, who all does know about the multiverse? Because yeah, you're right. There's Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. I mean, there's America Chavez and like Wong.
Yeah.
There's if you think about I mean, the other universes, because in Multiverse of Madness, they go to another Doctor Strange universe, and like Christine and her people and like a bunch of whole like scientists already know about that world. and like the
Yep, but
Illuminati is
see,
already well aware that the multiverse is a
our
thing.
Strange was unaware and was completely blown away that there were
Exactly.
other
So
multiverses, other universes, and all this. So he learned then. You get what I
exactly.
mean? Like, and they can even twist time and open dimension doors, but they can't do it to another universe. That was fucking
Like,
cool to me. Like, their
like
magic is
exactly.
stuck in this universe. So
Exactly. Like even he can go to
you get
other
what I
dimensions,
mean?
but he can't. But he can't. Yeah, he can go to another plane of dimension or like another plane of existence, but he can't go to another universe. Like it's impossible for. Although again, they show in just to bring up Deadpool and Wolverine again, they show that the way out of the fucking the void is by using a sling ring. So it's like clearly Doctor Strange does have the capability to travel
He
between
does, but
universes.
you'd have to know about it. So he
Yeah, you have to
couldn't
know
do it
how.
before, but he could do it now, I bet. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? But he couldn't do it before because you'd have to be aware of the universe you're sending yourself to open the portal. If you're not aware it's
Exactly. Yeah.
there,
I
it's
mean,
kind of neat to think about. So the other worlds, where do you think this is going, dude? What do you think he meant by that?
I mean, I think we have Captain Carter going to show up in live action again because if you watch What If, there's also like her and her team are traversing the multiverse.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they're doing all kinds of. Yeah, the TVA is going to show up. Like Captain Carter and Storm, hopefully, maybe a live action Storm doing like the Thor, like the Thor Storm. Like we're gonna have a lot of the stuff that we've been seeing pop up is gonna all like converge in like the next movie, and everyone's talking shit about it, but I'm like, watch, this is gonna be the next End Game, and everyone's gonna lose their fucking gourd when it's like, oh, that one person I remember from the '90s movie is showing up. Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna find a way to fucking do this and make it like work. And I'm like, maybe that's just me, being optimistic, but I'm like, I don't know, man.
Dude, look, you're going to see Battle World, and you're going to look at all these battles. You're going to look at the bottom left corner. You're going to see like Alpha Flight, and you're going to see like Cable.
Exactly.
And you're going to see all these like random characters, and people are going to lose their shit. You're like they did in Deadpool versus Wolverine. It's just so much to take in, and it was nerd fantasy. It was for nerds. Like, here you go, guys.
Technically, it wasn't Miss Minutes. I mean, I know she's CGI, but wasn't that's technically counts as live action because it was like live actors with the like. So yeah, we don't need a live action.
Was actually on set acting out Miss Minutes? Because
I don't think so. No.
To see Tara Strong in a motion capture outfit would be worth a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. Just a lot.
Does Marvel have a plan for the future? Or are they more or less winging it at the moment? The firing of the main baddie, so Jonathan Majors. So let's go ahead and talk about that. The fact that they fired Jonathan Majors, he's not going to be Kang anymore. This is another one of those times where they could absolutely just recast the motherfucker and just call it a day. Like, but regardless of any of that, like even if they don't use Kang, I feel like they're still going to. They kind of have to, even with the Doctor Doom shit. Like that, I feel like that's a red herring. Like they're trying to bring that up to be like, oh yeah, no, this is whatever, this is a thing. But like are they either going to come back to Kang, or whether or not they do or not, they're still going to do a multiverse war. Like they are dead set on that. And I'm convinced after watching this movie, Captain America, I am damn convinced that they are going to do a fucking a multiverse something, and that's going to be the end of Phase 6. And it's going to be like whatever Avengers multiverse war or just whatever they call it. Like,
yeah, and I think we're on the same page. I think we may not have the same routes of getting there, like predicted, but I think we are where we're both picturing it's going to end up is on the same page. So having Doom is important. I would rather have had Doom instead of Kang. 100%, I would have rather had Doom. But it makes more sense with the TVA arc to have Kang.
Yes.
And he was a great actor. Yeah. He got the fucking shit into the stick. Like, you fired him before anything even happened, and everything was dropped. And the dude ended up like, okay, and it was too late. And even if they were like, okay, we're sorry, come back. If I were him, I'd be like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, you that was stupid. What happened to, innocent until proven guilty? What happened to that shit? So, and with movie industry, they just fire you the second something comes up and don't even bother to wait. But yet DC didn't fire Miller, and they kept him through all the bullshit he was doing and all that. But then they turn around and fire Depp because he's going through a trial, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you guys are making terrible mistakes, Disney. Like,
Yeah, they just don't want to get their hands like attached, or they don't want to get their name attached to that. Which whatever, like whether you think it's a smart business move or not, but it's just like they don't. Yeah, they're trying, or at least in my opinion, they're trying to get out of they're trying to get themselves away from that controversy, but in doing so, making it another controversy.
Either way,
yeah,
I think Doom's going to be a better villain choice. But I agree with you.
agreed.
I think we are going to get other versions of Kang. They CGI'd him all over the place in
Exactly. Like
TVA
that
or
one scene
in
alone, you
Loki
could
and
just make a different version of him, make one that looks slightly different, or this is a one that he turns out he who remains is a different one, or some shit like that. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
It doesn't
whatever they
matter once
do,
yeah, they're all the same guy and they all have the same knowledge now. So you know what I
or
mean?
or
Like
they'll
that's
just or they'll flat out pull a Rhodey and a fucking General Ross, and they will point it. They'll poke fun at the fact that they change characters and just move on with it. It's like, oh, I lost them. They told me lose the mustache or lose the election. It's like ha 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 ha. We all know you're a different guy. Moving on.
lose the mustache or lose the election.
Yeah,
He
and
didn't
and the
quite
fact
like
he's
it,
like, oh,
man.
I'm still getting used to your new look, Mr. President. I was like, yeah, we get it. It's you look different. So that's
Speaking of which,
what's gonna happen.
are you familiar with the TVA comic arc that's out now?
I am not. Come on, Keith. Sorry, I gotta let my cat in my room.
I'm thinking that spawned off of the What If, because it's Captain Carter, which is Captain Britain, Spider Gwen, and then hey Kitty, what's up? And let's see, Mobius, Ouroboros. I'm trying to think of everybody that's in the
Sylvie.
Gambit, isn't it? I'm actually casting
damn.
for it now. I've got a great Spider Gwen who's already interested in the role. She's a newcomer, but she's got a great voice. So I think with some coaching, she's going to be great for Spider Gwen. I'm casting around. I got a great Captain Britain. I'm looking for an Ouroboros and somebody that might be able to do a really good Owen Wilson impersonation. Can you do an Owen Wilson impersonation?
I can do. Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I can do that too, but I can't, I can't really talk like him through the whole comic,
Ka-chow!
So
I can't really do Owen Wilson. I can do the meme Owen Wilson.
In Asgard? No wonder you're so grumpy. You don't have candy. He's like, what do you do? What do you have for sweets? He's like, we have like fruits and nuts. And he goes, you don't have candy in Asgard? No wonder you're so grumpy.
Yeah, no, that was I loved Loki. Both seasons were fucking great. And I'm happy. I'm pretty sure the TVA was just a creation of Marvel Studios. I don't think they were ever had a thing in the comics. I don't remember them anyway.
They do now, and that's what I was getting
so,
at. I've been reading through the story, and it's good. It's very interesting, and it's tying stories together. We're getting TVA Loki, that's what spawned that. We're getting that mixed with the Spider-Verse, because Gwen still has that watch thing, and that's how she's traveling through time and universes and things like that. And the TVA just decided to bring her in to help. Which I think it's kind of cool. So it's tying that Spider-Gwen from into the Spider-Verse into the TVA story. And I'm pretty excited. I'd like to get some people on board, but it's going to be a rough one trying to cast, because Mobius is Owen Wilson. How am I going to pull that off? You know what I'm saying?
So it looks like I am incorrect about that. It looks like TVA's first appearance was in Thor number 372 in October of 1986.
Holy shit.
So there was an origin for that, but it's just we haven't seen that in a long goddamn time.
Well, here's the thing. Who read Thor in 86?
Yeah, right.
Nobody.
A handful of nerds.
Thor was a long grow on for me, man.
That's right. I heard about that, John, that the 616 Gwen Stacy is now been resurrected, and now she's going to be Gwenpool.
Yeah, it's a little wicked because she looks like Hawkeye, and she's got these weird
sword, wrist swords.
It looks like a mess. I don't care about that. I don't think I'm going to read that.
I don't know why they're doing that, or why they chose to make her Gwenpool. You couldn't make her another Spider-Man, or Ghost
there's
Spider,
been a Gwenpool before. We've had Gwenpool before.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't Gwen Stacy. It was some other chick.
Yeah, it was just yeah, you're right. So, oh shit, you know what? I didn't make the connection. You're absolutely right. I always thought it was Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, no, that's the whole thing now. Is that now they're making her Gwen Stacy, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna piss off a lot of nerds who have been like, she's not Gwen Stacy. Anyway, do you still have the gold note? What gold notebook?
I never
Oh,
had a
from
gold.
Secret Wars. Well,
That's
no,
that's
he doesn't even have his black suit yet. He didn't. He's not. We haven't gone through Secret Wars yet.
How do you know?
Well, you're not
I actually
wearing your
got
black
another
suit.
Spidey suit. I was gonna airbrush it black so I could do like Spider Noir and black suit Spidey. But I also thought about making the Marvel zombies out of it, like getting a bunch of zombie prosthetics from like cheap Halloween stores and stuff, and cutting it up and putting it inside the suit, and making it look all damaged. But that thing would be hard to put on.
Was approved by the same dude who brought back Jason Todd as Red Hood. Although I like Jason Todd as the Red Hood. Like Red Hood is cool. Like, and that became a staple of the Batman family.
What, that was Death in the Family too, basically, right? So I enjoyed that when it came out, comic book wise, because I read the original Death in the Family, and that was where it was left. For a long time, Todd was dead, and Batman had to live with that. So I enjoyed it, and when it came out in the comics, I enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed the animated movie they made out of it too. They did a good job on that, taking all that and cramming it into like an hour and 20 minutes. They did a really good job, I thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
we'll talk about DC. What the hell happened?
Yeah, nah, but we still got about 20 minutes left. So I don't know. I guess we'll leave it, or we'll keep it going with So I don't know. I think I've asked you already where you see this going, or what do you want to see next from this? After watching this movie, like, let's talk about like the X-Men. What are we hoping for as far as that? Like, are we Hugh Jackman Wolverine? Or are we wanting to have someone?
I'm ready to move on. I think Deadpool versus Wolverine was a good goodbye to Jackman.
Agreed.
I really do. I'm ready for a new guy, and I'm ready to start over with the X-Men. And I don't want to start over with Origins. I don't want to see this kids and shit and teenagers and Scott Summers being a kid. I want them to be the X-Men, already doing X-Men, and now they're teachers. I want to see them start in the middle of a battle. I don't want to see origin stories are starting off with the mutant X gene. I don't want narration or flying through space. Start off with a fucking cool battle with a bunch of mutants over some civilians. And that's the essence of X-Men. You captured it in the first 5 minutes of a bunch of mutants fighting other mutants to protect humans. That is the X-Men.
So what I want, if we're going to do an X-Men movie, this is what we need to do. We need to make like the early X-Men. So have Beast, Iceman, Jean Grey, and Cyclops have like the original team. And then we get a Wolverine. We have a Weapon X movie where we have Wolverine become with adamantium. We have like Thunderbolt Ross tells like William Stryker or somebody else. Like we tell somebody to create a Weapon X, and there we are. We have like, whether it be if you want to do the original thing of like how I guess Weapon X started, it was like an offshoot of the Super Soldier thing. Be like, have it be that. It'd be like, we need another Captain America, or we need some. Oh shit, looks like dead guy left. But like, have something along those lines of like, you need another Captain America. Like, I'll fund your Super Soldier program, and using adamantium, and then like have like Wolverine be created as in just like the Hulk was, just like Iron, just like the Tesseract and all the fucking like Chitauri stuff. Like, have it all be connected to Captain America. Yeah, because I'm like, I think that'd be kind of cool to have them do that. Of like, all right, well, we have adamantium. Let's make our super soldier, and then again, like, but have an X-Men movie with that. Have Wolverine over here. Have him come into the X-Men. Boom. And then while we're at it, let's have a good Jubilee for fucking once. Let's have a good, like, and I mean live action. I love the animated version, but let's have a good live action Jubilee for once.
Yeah. First Class didn't give her any screen time at all, and then even then they didn't give her any. Well, Jubilee doesn't have great abilities, but you know what I'm saying. It would have been nice to see them. It would have been nice. You could
make them cool. I think you could absolutely make them cool if you did it like right and just.
I mean, she's a good Gandalf, like fireworks and stuff, but. Yeah, I mean,
I still think you could make it cool. You could still find a way with the CGI and the technology we have today. You could find a way to make Jubilee's powers cool. And God damn it, I want to see a good Jubilee, and we've never seen one.
All right, fair enough. You're right.
They're always, and you know what? You want to talk about someone who keeps getting recast? That has been a different actress in literally every movie that she's in that involves like Jubilee as a side character. That motherfucker is always a different actress, and god damn it.
I mean, so is Jean Grey though.
That's
well,
true.
that's not true. That's not true.
Nah.
I didn't mean. I meant Nightcrawler. He's a different dude every time we see him.
No, that's absolutely true.
And that's another thing. Nightcrawler was actually really early on X-Men too, so I wouldn't mind him being already on the team. You know what I'm saying? Nightcrawler was before Logan too, so it would be cool to.
Exactly.
I would like to see pre-Logan X-Men, not 100% origin, but pre-Logan. And I don't want black leather outfits. I want some cool first class outfits that we got in Apocalypse.
If Deadpool and Wolverine taught us anything, it's that goddamn it, we can have the bright colored out, like have Cyclops with the blue fucking suit with the goddamn like the yellow what's it, like the harness thing around his chest and the fucking yellow visor, like have that, or have them all again in their original comic accurate ones where they were like yellow and blue costumes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If we're gonna do this, let's fucking do it. Let's not just be like, oh yeah, no, they're like flight suits.
Dark Phoenix. I liked their uniforms in Dark Phoenix. It was a nice combination of like the old X-Men jumpsuit mixed with the 90s style colors and shape and stuff. Oh, wow. That's a really good compliment. I appreciate that. I don't feel like I'm a good Spidey, but I did find one. And he's awesome. I did a vote. By the way, you ever get involved, you need to know this. I did a vote in the cast, and most people voted for this. We're calling it the MCW, if that makes any sense. So if you were casted for an MCW character, you will reprise that character for any future like cameos or whatever. So say you're casted as Charles Xavier. Anytime he pops up in any comics that I do in the MCW, you get to come back and do Charles Xavier and reprise your character because it creates that familiarity, you know what I mean, with my fans and the subs. So most people voted for the people that were like, let's play it by ear, were channel owners, creators and stuff, which I got to give that to them. These people are busy like I am. They don't always have time to jump into a once a month fucking issue thing that's going to be coming out. But, most of the people that voted for it are voice actors. So that's pretty cool, man. I'd like to get you somehow in there. Do you think you could still pull off this Captain America, even if he's old?
I mean, I could try to do an older voice or like a little gruffer voice, but I mean, whatever roles you have for me or whatever roles you like me to do, I'm down for.
Because I think the way you're good at sarcasm is I try to cast characters for people's personalities that I know. I want their voice. I don't want them to do a voice most cases. That's why I thought Iceman would have been a great character for you because he's funny and he's so sarcastic and you could pull that shit off because your Nightwing was fucking phenomenal. I hope he comes back, by the way, in Nocturne because, dude, I heard that.
If you got any more Nightwing stuff for me,
huh?
If you got any more Nightwing for me, I will gladly do that.
We got so much, dude. I'll send you a character sheet thing. I know you're busy. You'll see it when you see it. I'll send it in DMs. If you look over anything and are interested, just grab it. You're one of those no auditions. You got it if you want it. You know what I'm saying? So you're kind of audition immune, if that makes any sense.
I appreciate that.
I was completely side skirting though. That was completely side skirting.
Nah, you're good. I mean, we're just at this point we're just trying to kill time. But let me see. What was I don't know. I think we're pretty much instant kill mode. Dude, I'm hoping that they make another. All right, so you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to spend this last 10 minutes talking about my Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man because it's actually it's a very good. I won't spoil it for you, but it's a very good cartoon. It is absolutely worth the time. I'll spoil this as much is that it brings in several characters. It brings in like Doctor Strange, Daredevil. You have Scorpion in there. You got what I believe might be the startings of Rhino. Like it feels like they're trying to do Rhino. Like they have Dr. Octavius already hanging out doing shit. So it's like all of these characters are already there. Like they mentioned the Sokovia Accord. Like it's awesome.
Okay.
It feels very much like a what if Spider-Man. Because it's not and then the voice actor sounds very much like Tom Holland. Like it sounds like he's doing
now. Isn't it the Spidey before Stark finds him? Is what I'm gathering. Like
so no. This is a world where Stark doesn't find him.
Oh shit! So this is a different. Okay, so I can
This is
have
an
fun with
entirely
this.
different
Okay,
Spider-Man.
okay,
Yeah, no. So that
okay.
so completely detach yourself from the Tom Holland Spider-Man because this is a different guy. Like
Okay.
again, while it feels like it is the same dude and it talks about and it feel he he has the same mannerisms, has the same like voice almost, and it does sound like he is doing a Tom Holland impression. Not him, but absolutely worth watching.
Okay.
And because again, it feels like it's doing its own thing. It's trying to be like a what if story in its own. And I mean, all right, I'll spoil this. At the very last episode, like after he does his whole thing, you see the fucking Watcher in the background. Like he
Oh
doesn't say
shit.
anything, he doesn't do anything, but yeah, you can just see for like a split second, you see the
So
Watcher like
so in a
like
sense,
it.
we're getting a really, really big what if.
Yeah, you're getting a long what if of doing that.
So
That
it's
it's like,
almost
hey,
what if Stark never found Peter
Spike,
Parker?
and what if
Oh
someone else
shit.
did?
Okay.
And that's the only thing I'll say.
Okay.
Like, what if
Okay.
somebody
Okay.
else gave Spider-Man his tech? And that's the only thing I'm gonna say there.
I already know where that's going. I already know where
Mm-hmm.
that's going just with imagination. Okay.
So yeah,
It's got to be
just
Oscorp.
enjoy.
So I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that. That sounds great.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be cool.
So
I think you'll
you
enjoy it.
brought up Rhino, and the last rendition we had was from
Paul
Craven.
Giamatti. Oh,
What did
Craven.
you
Oh
think
God,
about that?
I never saw Craven. I never. I'll be honest.
Really?
I never watched Craven because it just did not interest me. I've watched of the Sonyverse. I've only watched Madam Web and the three or the two. I've watched the first two Venom movies. I've never watched Craven. I've never watched Morbius. The third Venom I haven't seen. I refuse to watch any of those because they just look so crappy.
Listen. Craven, if you can remove the cheese factor out of some of it, the action scenes and Craven himself are extremely fucking well done and very cool. Like, that's all I can say without giving a bunch away. Some of the story was crammed. It was kind of stupidly written. I saw plot holes right away. But the Craven stuff, that was his name, Jason Alexander, right? That dude was really good. The Craven character, all of his abilities, the stuff he did and his fighting and all the action stuff was really cool. The Rhino,
Yeah, Aaron Johnson. Yeah, he was the guy who played Kick-Ass as well, and he was also Quicksilver in
yeah.
in Age of
I
Ultron.
mean, shit,
Yeah, no,
dude, he's in Godzilla. He's been in a ton of fucking films. He was in freaking
he's,
Tenet.
he's a great actor. I'm not denying that Aaron Johnson is a great
Yeah,
actor. I
and
just
what I
didn't
mean is
care.
if you sit down and have a chance to watch it without paying for it, there are things you can take away to be like what I was seeing when I was watching Craven do his Craven stuff was imagining a Holland Spider-Man fighting this guy and was like, oh my god, that's all I can say. I got really excited and watching him like do
Oh
this
god.
parkour shit and crawl on walls, I was getting like giggly. Like I was like, that's kind of
Yeah,
fucking
no,
cool.
that sounds cool. But I'm looking at the pictures of Rhino of their
Yeah, it's
version of the
bad.
Rhino. It looks
Really
so
bad.
bad.
It's
Ooh.
hi, bro. Oh, by the way, the same guy that played Rhino was also in my favorite movie ever made, Face Off. You know, we're gonna take
Oh
his
wow.
face off. He was the brother. Hi,
See,
bro. And he was in Jurassic Park 3 as Grant's partner. So I know the guy. I'm
wow.
familiar with the actor, but having him play Rhino was like, what in the fuck were you
Yeah,
thinking?
see that right there. I'm like, I can't do that. If you
Yeah,
took the
dude.
horn
Yeah, I
off,
was disappointed. What happened to the big guy in a suit, man?
yeah.
That's what I want is a big guy in a suit, a big Russian guy in a suit. That's what I want.
You know what's gonna be, what's ironic is that if you took the horn off of that dude, if you just took the horn off and just made the hit like like he's just a bald, like he's but keep
Yeah,
that like texture, that could be Tombstone. I could be down for that being
yeah,
Tombstone.
yeah. I could see that. I could see
But
that.
as Rhino, that looks just so stupid.
And the actor, like before he's like that, it's like you're even like, why would you cast that actor to play a character like that? He was a Russian
It's like,
gangster, dude. Like,
yeah, or just like yeah, but a guy in a rhino suit. That's what we want. Like, yo, you just want a guy in a big scorpion suit with a giant tail? Yes.
yeah, dude, we do kinda, yeah. And you know, with it being modern, I would be 100% okay with that guy being a gangster as well, because he was. So you
Yeah,
know,
it's
like you could
like I
retell these
the
guys because what they did with Toons and Vulture was amazing. Like if he
Exactly.
showed up with a fucking feathers around his neck and real wings and a green tights, I'd have laughed my ass off, dude. Like that just doesn't
See, no,
work.
that makes sense, and like how they did the shocker, okay, makes sense. Like how they're, but as far as like Doctor Octopus, I wouldn't mind a dude with like the shit coming out and then a trench coat, like a white lab coat. Like I'd be okay with that because that is Doctor Octopus. Like as far as Rhino, I would be down for a dude wearing a Rhino suit, or make it mechanized, make it like an Iron Man suit but with the giant horn on it. You know, it's like stolen alien tech. Like the way that Homecoming was doing, Spider-Man was doing it, like that did it really well because in my mind, I'm like making all of his villains like have Chitauri weaponry or Chitauri tech is really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Because like his stuff is Stark tech, all of his enemies have Chitauri tech. I'm like, okay, that makes absolute sense to me.
Yep. Oh shit.
But
Justin Morrison's just Captain
oh,
compliments today. Really, I'd be a great Mr. J. That one's on the way. I got a good
Mr.
Joker.
Oh, Joker. Oh, I was like, who's
Yeah,
Mr.
but
J? Oh,
I was talking with my Joker guy literally 2 days ago, and we're gonna take some clips from the Tree Jokers, and we're gonna find the guy that Callan worked with on the Three Jokers with him, and we're all gonna do a different Joker. So I want one shot at it, and that's what I told him. Like, give me one shot. I got a good laugh and I got a good Hamill impersonation. It'll work. But you guys probably saw my audition video that I posted of the guy who's doing the Joker, and he's just too good at it. So I'm like, I got a Joker. He's great. I appreciate that. These are all very good compliments. Thank you.
all right. We got hello, Brandy. Welcome to the stream. We're about to end it. We got about 5 minutes left, but I guess we'll end it on this. It's like, so we'll come back to Captain America one final time. I think we already talked about this at the beginning, but for those who haven't or who are just now jumping in, where do you rate that movie, Captain America: A Brave New World? So we'll end it on there. What do you out of 10? Where do you rate it and why?
Right now, I'm at a 6.5. I rate it there for some of the recuts that we were talking about, the reshoots, which threw off some of the story and too many subplots to keep up with. That removes some points. Other than that, I enjoyed it. I'm going to go back and watch it again after our talk, and I wouldn't be surprised if I bump it up to a 7.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put it up there about 6.5, 7, because it's by far of the 4 Captain America movies that there have been. I think I'm going to put it it's the weakest one, but it's also of the on the grand scheme of things of the MCU movies. It's better than like half like the Ant-Man movies. It's better than half of the Thor movies. It's better than I think it's better than the Incredible Hulk. It's better than a lot of the other movies that came before it. And so I'm like, you know what? I'll grant it. It's not perfect, but it's definitely above average. What like B said, it's definitely above average. It's worth it.
Yeah,
it gets
above average. Not worthy of a lot of the hate that's coming its way, even though I will listen to it and understand where people are coming from. I've only seen vicariously, like through people that I follow on posts and stuff, of people making fun of people for Captain America, Sam Wilson. Like none of the people I follow are complaining about that, but I see that they're screenshotting other people being mad about it. So I see that it's a thing, but I don't really experience it. My experience is more for bad dialogue and things like that. Not the movie not making any sense, or that's what I see from
rational human being arguments.
People that think and enjoyed the movie, maybe even in some cases, people that think entirely too much about a fictional movie, like you analyze this too much. You forgot to have fun.
Too much about it. Thinking and analyzing a movie too much? No, I have no experience with that.
It's unrealistic. I mean, yeah, you're right. Which part was hard to believe about the film? All of it, you gotta let go a little and have fun.
It's like, we're watching a movie about superheroes where the dude has like a mystical like space metal, and he's in wings made out of fucking the same mystical space metal, and the president is turning into a giant red gamma monster. But you know what? It's hard to believe. The black dude. I'm kidding. Anyway,
I swear to God,
on that wonderful note, we're nuts. We're all nuts, and And on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap this up. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you to Bianca, who's myself in comics, Hans, Justin Morrison. Let's see, we had Patrick Mulcair in here, John Walker or Henry Walker. We also had Aaron for a minute here. He did say what's up. I unfortunately didn't say hi to him in the moment. Sorry about that.
Shit.
Yeah, but we had we actually had quite a few people today. Mr. Action was in here for a second. We had Derpy Entertainment and Top Cat. So yeah, if I missed you guys, sorry about that. But make sure you guys comment next time, and I will make sure to shout you out. And
You got a lot of
thank
people
you.
this time.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was not a bad Marvel movie, or I don't think anyway. So we'll see how people feel. And also, I thank you for bringing some of your audience over and letting them know that you were going to be on here and that we were going to be doing this. Let me see.
No.
And of course, thank you to these 5 awesome individuals, our Fulcrum Council. You guys are great. I think actually, oh yeah, no, you're one of our paladins. Never mind, my bad.
Yeah. I went the cheap route this time.
You're in the cheap seats, but it's cool. I appreciate you guys nonetheless. Thank you guys all for being here. Daredevil Born Again will pick up Brave New World slack. Well, yeah, Daredevil Born Again is going to be one of the greatest goddamn movies of all time, or shows of all time. I cannot wait.
I mean, we're gonna get Punisher back. Bernthrall's already walking around with the fucking bulletproof vest on and shit, taking selfies and acting like the Punisher on the street. I'm stoked. I am so fucking stoked. I'm sorry. We were trying to end it, and you already said bye. Now we're talking about Daredevil.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, it's fucked up. We didn't talk about all the Daredevil at all here. But also before we go, I also want to say, for no reason whatsoever, you should go check out a friend of ours called A Dead Guys Productions. You should go check out his YouTube channel right there, because it's some really awesome content. And if you like our audio comic, you like the last Ronin audio comic, dude, fucking these audio comics put that one, if not to shame, they definitely put it in its place.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. That shit.
So all right. Good. So, all right, guys, but that's going to be it for me. I have been Gilbert. I have been Red Gilbs, and this has been
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say it. Damn.
Does whatever a spider can, spins a web.
All right, let's see you guys next time. Bye.
Just like flies, look out. Here comes